Welcome back, everybody, to LYXE Crypto. My name is Mike. Thank you for joining me here this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing. I hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about 4 cryptocurrency projects that I have mentioned on my channel before and done separate videos on each one of these. But I'm going to kind of refresh you guys on these a little bit because at this point, you know, with such a huge market drop that we've experienced, a lot of people have been exiting altcoins and they have been going into the top 10, top 15, top 20, which is actually very, very good advice. It's good. It's smart to be in those cryptocurrency projects because they seem to take less of a hit when things really do go down because of their overall market cap, and the reason why they're in the multiple billions of dollars is because they're projects that are pretty much very long term and very solid, and they have a lot of things going for them in their favor that can outlast this kind of a pullback. So like I said, I'm going to refresh you on these 4. These are 4 of my top altcoin. I still call them gems, you guys, because although these are not hidden gems, these are altcoin gems. They're not in the multiple billions of dollars yet. I think some of them have the potential to absolutely get there in this next leg of the bull run that we could enter really at any time. Before we get into those, you guys, number 1, if you haven't joined this channel, please do so. Hit the subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And please, if you want to support this channel, the best way you can do that, guys, is to leave comments below so that we can talk about these kinds of things as a community, and also join the Telegram. A lot of good people in there with a lot of good information. I am learning more from you guys than you are from me sometimes, so I appreciate you guys very much. Let's take a look at the market cap right now. We're back above 1.7 trillion. We're seeing a bit of a bounce back because, in my opinion, everything has been oversold for a little while. That's what happens when markets take these massive downturns like we've experienced. Same thing as when everything's overbought, So right now we are still in oversold territory, which is why you see bounces like this. But at the same time, because of the market volatility we have experienced, I wouldn't look too far into these kinds of things quite yet. It is definitely not time to put anything that you're sitting on the sidelines in USD or UST, Tether that is, into, it's not good to go all in at once is what I'm trying to say here. Still be reserved at your entry points, because just because we are starting to see a little bit of a market trend switch into the opposite direction does not mean that everything is safe right now. There could still be more pain ahead of us, and at the same time there could be the start of a recovery, because there's a lot of really good news out there. Now, this is not a news-based video. The next video I make after this will be a news-based video. And you guys know that on this channel, I do remain eternally bullish. It's just right now, things are super volatile. So some of these swings are pretty good in the last 24 hours. If you've been putting money into the projects that you believe in, you're making 14, 15, 8, 10% on some of these swings. And it's really easy to get caught up in the momentum that now, you know, the sky is falling has been removed, and now we're rocket shipping to the moon. So I don't think either one of those cases are true right now. But anyways, you guys, let's get into this, because I've got 4 altcoin gems that I want to talk about. And we're not talking about these high caps. We're not talking about the Ethereums, the Cardanos, the Chainlinks, the Polygons. You know, those are obviously solid projects. They're gems in their own right, because they're basically wonderful projects that have bright futures. But we're going to talk about some of these gems that are a little bit more down the list. And we're going to start with number 4, and that is COTI. Let's take a look at COTI. COTI is at 23.2 cents. The market cap is 156 million. The 24-hour trading volume is just over 30 million. Not so bad. The circulating supply is roughly about half of what it should be. 100,000 million, 2 billion. Yeah, well, less than half. But anyways, you know, it's the fully diluted valuation is only 468 million. So COTI has a lot of room to grow, and the fact that COTI is integrated with Cardano and it's working with Apple Pay to be part of a payment system that is going to be integrated with Cardano more and more as time goes on. I'm not doing a deep dive into any of these projects, you guys. I'm just doing a little bit of a refresher course on what these projects are, what they have to offer. Let's go take a look here at the 180 day, because I actually got into this quite a while ago. I think my entry point, I bought at the original all-time high, about 26 or so cents. So right about there. I don't know exactly how long ago that was, but then we saw some peaks, we saw some valleys, we've seen some things go down, and of course, this is probably where the market crash happened. So, an entry point at, 16 or so cents would have been really good, would have been a local bottom for COTI. And you can see that, there's more sideways price action to the upside and the downside, simply because everything's been kind of rocking and rolling and reeling. So there's some pretty good exchanges here. They've got Binance, they've got Gate.io, they've got a few really big opportunities from these exchanges for people to enter and exit from. So holding on to COTI is a good idea for a long-term hold, because this isn't going to be a 10xer overnight, you guys. The fact that they're integrated with Apple and they're integrated with Cardano is alone really why I'm invested in them. I think once these guys get their payment solution figured out, we all know that Apple is just about really to get into the crypto space in a big way. I think if they can integrate cryptocurrencies into Apple Pay, which is exactly what I think they're trying to do, they put out this ad that they're looking for people who can kind of facilitate these kinds of things for them. So COTI's going to be a major part of that, especially the fact that they're kind of bridging, Cardano's payment systems and Apple's future payment systems is a big deal. Now, leave some comments below, because obviously I'm not going over all the information here for the sake of not having too long of a video, but let me know what you guys think about COTI. I did cover them a long time ago. I'm very honest about my entry and exit points in cryptocurrencies, because I'm not trying to fool anybody here, and I'm certainly not trying to shill any projects. I am a holder of COTI, and I will maintain holding onto what I have. So next one on the list, coin number 3. API3, baby. I also started out in my earlier days of making YouTube videos, which really wasn't that long ago, talking about API3, because API3 is another Oracle solution, kind of like Chainlink, very much like Chainlink, except these guys claim that they're going to do it better, because they were actually the original node holders and runners on Chainlink, and they know that there are some hiccups, because there is no such thing as a perfect project right now. There really isn't. Even Bitcoin itself has its things that it's trying to catch up with. We all know about the whole proof of work thing that's been angering everybody about the green environment and all that stuff. Anyways, not to get distracted, they claim that they can do Chainlink better. Now, I'm not going to sell this project based on the fact that they say that they can do it better. What I want to see is I want to see them actually come out and do it better. But I will say this, when Chainlink seems to do well, and if you look at the daily price action on Chainlink, I've been talking about it in the past couple of videos for a while now, I do expect Chainlink to go on a pretty fat run here pretty soon. Depending on when the market starts to actually turn and we go from bearish to bullish again, I think Chainlink is going to be one of the ones in the top 10 that is a major beneficiary of a massive explosion upwards. Their partnerships are top-notch, bar none. Nobody can keep up with Chainlink. Nobody's ever going to, in my opinion, knock Chainlink off of its top spot as the top Oracle. It's too integrated. Its tentacles are too far spreading. But API3 could really take a bite out of what Chainlink is doing. And when Chainlink runs, a lot of the other oracles run with it. The API3s, the bands, the DIAs, there's a couple other that I'm forgetting their names right now because I'm not really invested in them, so I don't really care so much about what they're doing, but I do notice a trend. When Chainlink runs, they all kind of trail behind it. So API3 has actually had some pretty good price movement recently. The market cap is only under 100 million. I mean, I think I saw API3, its all-time high was probably close to around $12. The 24-hour low and highs got some pretty good action on it. Fully diluted valuation is still under just barely over 400 million. The trading volume is about 10 million. I'd like to see the trading volume increase, but the max supply of only 100 million, I'm sorry, 100, yes, million, sometimes those zeros throw me off, is not bad. And you're not looking at something that's got like this infinite supply, billions and billions and billions. I really do believe that API3 has a bright future, and as they begin to integrate more into what they're trying to accomplish, and some people have even hinted that they are involved with, oh, I'm drawing a blank on the company. We could check out their website. Why don't we just go do that right now? Let's see what API3 has to say. I have not been on this website for a very long time. API3 token. GitHub, Contact, decentralized APIs for Web 3.0, create powerful decentralized applications with API 3's decentralized, governed, and quantifiably secure data feeds. Okay, it's probably not going to talk about the company. I should probably do more research on it. In fact, I might add this video later when I do. Connect smart contracts to real world data. So truly, essentially, it's just doing what an API is meant to do, and with the data feeds and all that stuff. So all it takes is for these guys to get a couple of really big partnerships where I'm hearing rumors that they're kind of working on, for them to really start to gain traction. Chainlink being my number one API modulator, whatever you want to call it. I'm drawing a blank here, guys. Sorry, I got distracted. My phone's cracking off here. But the fact that, I believe that API 3 could easily be the number 2. Like I said, no one's coming to knock Chainlink off the top of the list, but API 3 is easily going to solidify its place as number 2 and a competitor to Chainlink. It's not going to eat away towards that multi-billion-dollar market cap like Chainlink has right now, although API 3 could essentially eventually be a $1 to $2 billion market cap project, just based on the fact that APIs are very, very needed for what this industry is trying to do and all the connectivity that goes along with that. So like I said, none of these are a deep dive, so we're just going to go back here and we're going to go look at, let's go to the 180 day again. It looks like, yes, well, these guys have the all-time high at just under $10. I think it actually got a little bit higher than that on different exchanges, but let's go take a look here at what exchanges they're on. We've got OKX, we've got MXC, we've got KuCoin, we've got Huobi Global. It's just a matter of time before I see these guys on Binance, maybe even Binance US, for us US people who really need to have more opportunities like the regular Binance. There's probably more. There's a big list of here, I'm sure. But API 3 is worth looking into, guys. I have not forgotten about it. I really do believe that if you're invested in something like Chainlink, it's always good to have, it's kind of like holding Ethereum and then some of the competitors to Ethereum. It's always a good idea to have a little bit of, skin in the game in other places, just because, like I said, competition is always good for the market, and we like to see other projects do well because they push each other to continue to do well. So number 2, you guys, and it's kind of more like a 1A. There's like 1 and 1A because these two projects are my top altcoin gems that I do really believe in. Like I said, discounting the Polygons, discounting the Cardanos, and all those other ones that I'm really focused on right now because they are in the top 20 and they're holding on to a very large market cap. But these two, essentially what I'm trying to say is that I had a hard time picking number 1. So we're going to call this one 1A, and it is none other than Veracity. Gosh, I love this project, you guys. I love this project. And I'm going to start out by saying I could see Veracity going on the kind of run that Theta went on. And I'm not saying that these guys are competing for the same thing, because they're really not. But what I'm talking about is the massive run. I was in Theta originally a long time ago at like 13 cents. This is when I was operating on Huobi, which I can no longer do. This was years ago, actually, and I had to basically get rid of it because I had no other place to put it. I wasn't too familiar with holding wallets and all that stuff. Had I held on to my Theta, I would have probably been a multi-millionaire at this point. And I can see Veracity has a huge community. They're continuing to build. I see people leaving comments in other people's videos all the time about Veracity VRA because people know what's coming. This proof of authority, is it proof of authority? Proof of view. The proof of view patent that they have, which actually I believe is a US patent. I could be wrong. Please let me know in the comments below if you know more about this project than I do. But that proof of view is something that's going to grow. They're going to be integrated with YouTube. They're going to be integrated with all kinds of other services because essentially people are really wanting to own their own content. They're wanting to own their own advertisability, just being a human being. The fact that we are targets for advertisements is what gives some of these large platforms basically their ability to charge money for your personal information. So, when you own a YouTube channel or when you own your Instagram or whatever it is that you attach to that, as these things continue to grow, your proof of view is going to be really, really good for the people who are making the content. Not only that, but I believe that they're going to try and integrate somehow into actually paying people to watch the advertisements. Now, it's not going to be a lot of money, but people like myself and maybe some of you here, I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I actually pay the $14 a month to have the premium account, so I don't have to sit through those ads. And I don't even add ads to my channel because I don't want you guys to have to sit through those ads. So I know that I'm willing to pay money to not do that. So just that concept alone should be able to speak volumes of if somebody can come out and find a way to get people to actually watch and engage in these advertisements. Maybe some of them will be interactive, user-friendly. I don't even know. The future is so bright for that. But the fact that Veracity has a patent on all these things that I just mentioned means that Veracity could be huge. In fact, I do expect Veracity to be huge. I expect at some point when this bull run continues that we're going to see VRA shoot past the 10-cent mark and on its way towards maybe 15 or 20 cents, which doesn't sound like a lot, but sitting under 2 cents right now, I mean, if you're looking at a 5x or a 10x from here, not to mention the fact that their staking rewards have been really, really good. It was, I think, at some point 36% APY. I think they dropped it down to like 25.5%, but that's still great. I mean, if you're making 25% APY by staking an asset that really actually has a very, very, very bright future, it's kind of like you're double dipping. You're right. You're making free Veracity simply by staking it, and also you're hoping that this asset does eventually grow into what it was designed to be. So let's take a look. We're at just under 2 cents, up 26%. Like I said, these are the kind of projects that bounce back and bounce back hard, because when things like this are oversold, people that understand these projects are going to be piling back into them with the money that they've been sitting on the sideline. We all know there's a lot of money in Tether, in USDC, and other stablecoins is sitting on the sideline waiting to strike. And if they're thinking anything like I am, they've been a little tentative to do that, because I know I have been tentative to do that myself. But once we see the market trend reverse and we see a lot of good news start coming out, and basically when the whales decide to manipulate everything to the upside, because they've already manipulated everything to the downside and shaken out the weak hands, the new users, it's just a matter of time before crypto is exploding again and everybody's talking about how wonderful everything is, and projects like Veracity are really going to benefit from that. Let's take a look at the 24-hour trading volume, you guys. Just over $31 million. The market cap is only $125 million. Now, I know Veracity peaked at about 4.5 cents, something like that. We're going to confirm that right now. But that market cap is very low for what something like Veracity is trying to and probably going to end up ultimately doing. This is an absolute gem. This is why I had such a hard time making this number 2 and subbing it down to 1A instead of 1, because I see a huge, huge, huge future in Veracity. I am invested in Veracity. I'm looking for a possible another enter point into it. I probably already missed out when it was down to about 1.2 cents. I should have probably bought more, but like I said, I've been pretty hesitant to enter into altcoins when the market is so shaky right now. So the total circulating supply, 100 million, 10 billion. And we've got about 6 billion. So yeah, you know what? The circulating supply compared to the overall supply is actually pretty good. Those are the kind of things I like to see. The 24-hour low, I mean, you could have already made a good, 26% on this right now. Let's keep going down here. I'm going to go to the 180-day chart again. Oh, it looks like Veracity peaked at over 5 cents at one point, just barely over 5 cents. So, I mean, we're looking at something that's basically over 50% off its all-time high. And when you're looking at projects to get into, particularly altcoins that are not in the top 50, this is kind of what you want to look at. You want to look at where is the all-time high, and could it get back to its all-time high, and are we expecting a new all-time high? I would say yes to all three of these for this particular project, because we have a long way to go when they continue to develop. Look how long it took Theta to develop what they were talking about. People who really knew and understood what Theta was were very adamant about exactly where this project is going to go, and it has absolutely done that, and in my opinion exceeded that. I see this as the next Theta as far as overall market cap movement and the chance to be a multi-billion-dollar project. Where did I get mine? I got mine on KuCoin. I'm just curious because I actually do want to see, they have definitely increased their trading pairs since the last time I looked. I picked some up on KuCoin a while ago, more than once. Uniswap, I think I got a little bit on Uniswap, and Bittrex, HTBC. Yeah, okay, so they don't have all of the best ones, but again, just a matter of time before something like Veracity and their overall volume starts to really peak before it ends up on Binance. Now, you want to be into a project like this before it gets on a Binance, because that's when a huge pump will take place and there will be a whole ton of liquidity flooding into this project, and liquidity is absolutely what you need when you're trying to get into crypto. So when you try to get out and take some of those profits, you can. All right, on to the number one project, you guys. Some of you who have been following my channel, you probably could guess this. I'm hoping that you do get this right. I know that I haven't been talking about it very much lately because we've been in a different mode than trying to get those next 5x, 10x, 20x gainers. But do you know what it is? I'll give you one guess. Yep, for those of you that got it right, thank you. You are my true followers, my true subscribers, and you really know that this is a project that I am really big on. There's a reason why LUKSO is #1. Now, before I even start talking about this, I was actually planning on making this video a couple days ago. And in the video that I made a couple days ago, I talked about making this exact video, talking about resurfacing some of the projects that I really do love and really do believe in. And then last night, I was playing Risk Online. Fun game, fun war game to get involved in. And I was listening to Altcoin Daily. Altcoin Daily is now over 800,000 subscribers. Good for them. They're OGs. Austin and Aaron, those guys are super, they're just good content producers. I've been listening to them since they were under 100K subs. And, you know, they were mentioning and they were talking about a couple of the projects. And there's going to be an honorable mention, by the way, after this. So stay tuned for that as well. They're #1. On their list of their top 5 was LUKSO. And I was super glad to hear it. It's not enough people are covering this. Now, I will say this. I actually learned about LUKSO first from Chico Crypto, because I've been also following him for a very long time. And he was talking about this before anyone had ever even heard of it. So I know sometimes I give Chico a hard time, but, you know, it's all fun and games, you guys. It's not meant to hurt anybody's feelings. And it's not like he even watches my videos. So it doesn't really matter. But he did uncover this first. And now it's just a matter of time before I think that people are going to really start covering this project because of all the things that are going on, especially Fabian Vassal Gonger. I forget his name. I'm drawing a blank right now, but basically he was the one that created the Ethereum, which one was it? I had 1.5, I don't know. He had something to do with Ethereum. I know I'm drawing a blank here, guys, and this is probably not the best review because I haven't actually refreshed myself on these projects in a very long time. In crypto, there's so much information. Sometimes you got to make room here so stuff can come in, and there's been a lot of inflow, so pardon me for my outflow here. But Fabian Vassal Gonger, he is one of the creators of Ethereum's capabilities of doing Ethereum stuff. Oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank? This is really bothering me. Anyways, whatever. LUKSO's got a long way to go, you guys. It's very, very far off its all-time high. We're sitting at $9. I've actually been watching this go up steadily today. I mean, we're pushing 30% at this time. Wow, what a swing, right? What a swing. Good projects like this will have big swings. The 24-hour trading volume is only $3.3 million. Wow, look at the action on this. What this says is that there's not enough liquidity in this project. Eventually, there will be a ton of liquidity in this project. It's just a matter of time before people really realize what LUKSO is doing. And they are basically, to sum it up, they're basically going to be bringing the world of fashion into NFTs. And it's so much deeper than that. I don't have time to actually really describe all of this right now in this particular video. But what they're targeting and the first mover advantage that they have working with people in the fashion industry such as Nike, Versace, some of the other bigger brands, they're going to be integrating NFTs in a way that actually really is going to capture quite a large audience because fashion is huge. And imagine, you know, people having all of these virtual created worlds that are all coming with the Decentralands and all these things, and people are going to be wanting to buy and sell and trade and even sell in the marketplaces that they're going to create in places like Decentraland these particular clothing items or these fashion items or these jewelry items or whatever it's going to be. And there's going to be look at the money people spend on NFTs. Now there are people out there that are saying the NFTs are kind of dropping off in you know, people being interested in these kinds of things, and the money that's being tossed around has kind of rubbed people the wrong way. People have been destroying art and making virtual versions of these things, and some people don't really like that. But I'm here to tell you that NFTs are going nowhere but up. Yes, have they taken a breather? Sure. But if you look at the world and you look at what musicians are doing, artists are doing, just all sports people, there are so many people that see the power of an NFT because it's not just a digital piece of art. You can do so much layered on this. The technology world that we're living in is huge, and LUKSO is targeting a niche market and is at the top of their game. And the fact that Fabian is on this team and he's really understanding of how things work when it comes to integrating the ability to do all kinds of fun technological stuff that I'm not even going to begin to try and describe in terms. this is a token that is worth entry into. If we go look at the all-time high, I'm gonna guess it was about $25 to $26. Yep, right there, right at about 25 bucks. As a matter of fact, I remember one of the videos I did early on LUKSO, I said when LUKSO hits $25, I'm going to give away 10 LUKSO, and I did. So that lucky winner got himself 250 bucks worth of LUKSO, and if he cashed out at the top, he could have look at this rise. Look at this rise. Boom. I mean, talk about a chart that really, in hindsight, looks to be unsustainable and a little unhealthy. That's exactly what it was. Now, this started to go down long before we really started having a lot of trouble in this particular cycle of the Bitcoin and altcoin cycle that we're in right now. I still do believe we are in a bull run. We're just taking a much needed breather. But LUKSO really has just kind of been on a steady decline, which has kind of caused people to forget about it. You guys, I'm here to tell you, do not forget about this project. There is so much going on behind the scenes. I should probably do a separate video just on LUKSO so I can really describe to you and go through their website once again with you guys and show you exactly what it is they're trying to do so I don't fumble over my words here and embarrass myself. Keep an eye on this is all I'm trying to say. Keep an eye on LUKSO, because I believe, as undervalued as it is, there are a lot of people who know exactly how undervalued this project is and exactly where it's going to go once it really starts to integrate. I do believe they have some sort of a mainnet coming up real soon. You're supposed to be by the end of, well, I think it should be, I should research that. I'll save that for my deep dive video. Market cap of only 131 million. This is nothing. This is nothing in the crypto space. I expect this to be a multi-billion-dollar project, which you're looking at 10x, at 20x from here. A lot of people were talking about LUKSO just shooting up into the $80 to $100 range back when it was going on its run. Of course, it didn't do that, but it still has the potential to do that. You know, I'm not a moon boy. I'm not big on predictions, but I absolutely see LUKSO recovering very well in this next phase of the bull run. And I think more people, as bigger YouTube channels start to cover it and people start to really understand what's really going on here, all it takes is coverage and news and partnerships before something like this with Fabian behind it could really absolutely do a moonshot. So we're going to leave it at that, you guys. One more thing to talk about, because this is the honorable mention section, and I did actually make a video on it back before the explosion. And it's got a huge follower. It's got a huge fan base. So many people are into it. And this honorable mention is OMI. ECOMI. Right? ECOMI was so many people's heroes, and so many people actually FOMO'd in at the wrong time. It's hard, you guys, to not want to FOMO into a project that has so much hype behind it a couple months ago. But at the same time, if you look at the run that it did, I'm going to start out by charting this one here over the 180 days. Because if you look, I mean, gosh dang, you guys, when something goes from literally 0.000004 all the way up to, you know, basically a penny and above, that's not the time to get into a project. I don't care how much hype is behind it. I don't care, you know, if you look at this chart, this is hockey stick stuff. What goes up must come down, you guys. Look at the slow, steady, the couple more peaks right there. We had a double top, and then it was just all downhill from there. Because people were taking profits, because that's what people do, especially people who are in early down here. I was fortunate enough to get in right about there, right before a massive run up, and I could have taken a lot more profits. I actually ended up waiting until, you know, we got down here, but I was still looking at like a 20x or like even a 30x at some point. So I took a lot of that off the table. I do still hold some OMI, you guys, because I do believe that with the VV app working out all of their bugs, and the VV app being at the top of the game really for an NFT marketplace, and the partnerships that these guys have and the people that they have backing it, it's just a matter of time before I think ECOMI is really going to be one of, if not the premier NFT marketplace for the things like the DC Comics, the Batmans. I'm hearing rumblings, you guys, of, you know, carrying things like Transformers, Jurassic Park. You know, NFL is supposed to have some sort of partnership with them, not confirmed yet. People have been always talking in the background about Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of the guy that's involved with bringing them to the US market. These are all still rumors right now, but what's really got me interested, I've actually heard that they're going to be doing, possibly doing or exploring a partnership with the WWE, which I refer to as the WWF still, because that's when it was still good. If that's the case, then I know that I myself personally would love to be buying some of these NFTs NFTs like the Transformers. I'm a huge fan of Transformers. I'm a huge fan of old school WWF wrestling from back in the 80s and 90s. And I have to come from my own view as an investor. Will I be using the VV app to buy and sell and trade these NFTs? Yes, I will. So for that reason alone, I still do hold on to about 10% of the OMI that I was originally into. And, even after this downfall, look at the ROI is still up over 600%. So a lot of people made a lot of money on OMI. It is definitely not time to give up on this project. As a matter of fact, after this huge fall from grace, and I'm saying I'm not an investment advisor, but maybe this is a good time to enter. We're under the 0.0025. The trading volume, you guys, is only 4 million. And of course, they need to have more exchanges come on and start carrying it. The market cap is pretty high, $500 million. That's because there's a massive supply. We're talking about 750 billion. We've only got 190 billion in circulation. I know they've talked about doing coin burns and all that stuff, but OMI has a long way to go. They definitely should probably look into burning coins. I know that the VV app, every time you interact and buy, sell, or trade an NFT, there is OMI that is permanently burnt. So as a long-term solution, that's actually pretty good. But let's go down here. This is part of the problem. We're going to go to see all trading pairs, and there ain't many. There's not much at all. Ascendex, which used to be Bitmax, Bit4X, and Gate.io. This is good and bad. It's bad because right now, there's not a ton of liquidity in this project, and people, as you can see, have taken a ton of profits off the table. But at the same time, this is the kind of project that you want to be in before it gets on some of these major. I'm surprised this is not on KuCoin yet. I would really hope to see them be on KuCoin at some point. KuCoin's got some pretty crappy projects on there, and this is not a crappy project. This is a legitimate NFT play that could really actually go on back up on an explosive run, and a lot of people, there's a lot of community backing this particular project. So KuCoin, y'all need to get on the hammer here and add Ecomi so that we can get some liquidity in this project and we can actually get back to where we were, or at least start to climb that ladder again back up towards the all-time highs. So listen, you guys, thank you very much for joining. I appreciate it. Please leave comments below. Let me know. I know I fumbled through parts of this video. I apologize. I don't edit my videos. I like to come at you raw and uninhibited, and I just speak from the heart, and sometimes, I run into a little bit of problems, but I'm very passionate about crypto. I love what I do. I love making YouTube videos. I love reaching out with you guys. I love more than anything interacting with the comments, whether they're positive or negative. And hey, happy trading to y'all. Thank you so much. Share this video with anybody, and happy trading, you guys. Keep an eye on everything that's happening right now, because we certainly are in a strange place. Are we going to go on a bull run? Are we going to hit into bear territory and drop into below the 30,000s for Bitcoin? Because we know that as Bitcoin goes, so does the crypto market. It's very encouraging to see a 6% uptick in the last 24 hours. I will preface this by saying, look at Ethereum, more than double that. A lot of people are saying that Ethereum is going to outpace Bitcoin this coming bull run. It already has. It's continuing to do so. The proof is in the pudding right there. Happy trading. I love y'all. Let me know what you think about these projects. Peace.